Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. This particular episode was inspired by a post that a friend of mine had put on Facebook just before Christmas, and she talks about one of her fondest memories was when she was little and woke up and found a rocking horse under the Christmas tree. It made me start thinking that many years ago, when her parents decided to buy her that rocking horse, they probably never would have dreamed that into adulthood that would become one of her fondest memories. And that got me thinking about the little fond memories that we have in life that we just take for granted. And one of those, in all honesty, is birds and butterflies. Now, I'm talking about the little things that are free, that come to us every day, that we don't really give a second thought about, because most of the things that grab our attention are the things that are either costly or too hard to come by, that we have to work at really hard. So take the birds, for example. I remember spending a lot of time in the country and waking up to the birds singing. It was beautiful, but I just assumed it would always be there. Same with the butterflies, the beautiful coloring on the butterflies just flying around. Something I thought would always be there also. Now, I live in California, so I don't know if perhaps they've diminished where you are, but there's still birds and there's still butterflies, but not to the degree that they used to be. I mean, I rarely really hear the birds like I used to. And the butterflies, when I see one fly by, it's so exciting that nature brought such a beautiful thing to us. So what I'm getting at, we never know what little things are going to end up being so important, that are going to mean the most to us, that are going to really spark our memory. Remember when we used to wake up and the birds would be singing as hot summer days, beautiful butterflies going by, or the rocking horse under the Christmas tree. And that brings me to the second step. The same goes for how we treat other people. We never know where they're at in life and what is going to mean a lot to them. And I'm going to share a little story with you. I was going to a church, and I felt like nobody really knew me there, and people were kind of, talking amongst themselves. I didn't really feel comfortable. And so I arrived there one day, and I thought, this is going to be my last day here. I put that in my head that this was it. Nobody talks to me. I'm not coming back. Well, when I pulled up and got out of my car, the pastor happened to be standing on the steps near the front door, and he looked over and he shouted, "Hey, lady." And those words, 2 words, "Hey, lady," it changed everything for me. It changed the way I felt about things. It showed that he did acknowledge me. And then just based on those 2 words, I did not quit going to that church. I continued going, and it turned out to be a real blessing. So we never know what little things mean to other people. And again, this brings us back to living in the present moment. And this is one of the reasons we live in the present moment, so that we don't miss these little things, these things that are happening in between the big things and things that we take for granted, and really take them for granted until they're gone. So when you're in the present moment in life, when you're walking in the present moment, you not only acknowledge the big things, which we all do, that's easy to acknowledge, but it's those little things that we take for granted that really, really mean a lot. Yes, we need money to survive. Yes, we have to have certain comforts. But it's these little things that don't cost anything, like the birds, the butterflies, saying a kind word to somebody that might just save their life or make their day, who knows? Just as saying something unkind might have the opposite effect. But we won't go there because that's a negative. So what I'm saying, it's the little things that make us happy. We are all rich in that. I think sometimes we get so focused on the next big mountain in front of us that we forget to look at the little things. And with the new year coming, let's look at 2026 in a different way. We've talked about having our goals, and we do have our goals, and that's great because I think to be a well-rounded person, you have to have futuristic goals that you're working toward, and that makes you feel good. But there's also the small things around us that are easy to take for granted until they're gone. And they're beautiful, and we're so fortunate to have them. So take the time to, well, I hate to use an old cliche, smell the roses, but in a sense, that's what it really means. Take the time to enjoy everything that's around you. Take the time to find something good in everybody and say it. It doesn't cost you anything to make that person feel good. And consequently, you will get the same in return, maybe not from that particular person, but just in general, because if you give off that type of energy, it comes back to you. So let's approach 2026 in a whole new way, really valuing the little things, really living in the moment, not only focusing on what we're working on, career goals, love life, etc., but those small things that happen in the middle. It's those middle moments, those in between, those gap moments that fill in the big, grandiose things that happen in our lives. And I think if you can enjoy the small, the filler moments as much as the large moments, then you're really living. Then you're living to your full capacity because you're enjoying everything, not just the big things, but everything around you. And what a wonderful way to live, to be in awe, to be so appreciative of everything around you. Instead of looking at the negative, and I know that's easy to do, to focus on the negative because it hurts us, it stirs up certain emotions. But I believe if you work at enjoying the smaller things, work on being more positive, work on being grateful for the things that God has given us that don't cost anything, then I think our whole outlook on life, the way we carry ourselves, the way we walk, the way we talk, I think everything will level up. I think everything will be better. In short, we have so much more than we think we have. And focus on when you give your prayer of gratitude. It's always the big things, the obvious things. But you give gratitude for the little things, the little blessings of beauty around us. The blue skies, the birds, the butterflies, the rocking horse under the tree, whatever it is, whatever means a lot to you. really stop and think what means a lot to you. What are you appreciative of? What are you grateful for? And give thanks for those things too. I'm telling you, people, there's a whole new way to live. Well, it's new for me anyway. I mean, maybe somebody else has climbed this mountain already. But for me to always reach to another level, to always go beyond where you are, always reaching for that next rung on the ladder, improving yourself. And this is part of improving yourself, is by sharing your improvements with other people through appreciating them or finding what's good about them, because they just might need it. But what better way is there to approach this new year? The day I'm recording this is December 27th, and it's soon to be New Year's. So I hope you all had happy holiday season, and I hope you all have a great New Year. But let's enter 2026, as I said before, not only appreciating and being grateful for the grandiose things, for the big adjustments, but let's look around us and see what things that we have taken for granted that we're so grateful for. There are so many. I mean, the air we breathe, the water we drink, whatever it is. Let's enter 2026 in a spirit of gratitude and in a spirit of kindness. If you think about it in your life, if you look back on certain things, you may not remember all the kind things people have said to you, but for some reason we remember the bad things. I don't know why that is. I don't know what makes a human being gravitate toward that, but it does happen. So let's try to change that, shift it a little, and watch the words that come out of our mouth and make somebody else feel good. Just because somebody is looking good, they have on the nice clothes, nice hair, nice makeup, it doesn't mean anything. It's what's going on their inside. So we never know what somebody else may need. So let's enter 2026 not only in the spirit of gratitude, but in the spirit of kindness, and hope that spreads. We've all seen over the last, I don't know how many years, how certainly a spirit of division, of anger, it seems to loom over the area where I'm at anyway, over this country recently, and I don't know why, but let's see if we can change it. I mean, it took some doing to change it to get to that state, so let's see if we can change it back. Because I believe kindness and love always outweighs bitterness and anger. With that being said, I wish you all a very happy New Year, and I will talk to you next year. God bless. Bye-bye.